From Lufthansa, Martin Sassenfeld joins us. Welcome to CCW Digital on B2B IQ. I'm your host, Seth Adler. Download episodes on ccwdigital.com through our app in iTunes, within the iTunes podcast app, in Google Play, or wherever you currently get your podcasts. First, some supporters to thank, and then Martin Sassenfeld. Here it is, the fully integrated cloud CX platform that you need to act smarter, respond faster, and be first in CX. Now you can turn innovation into value, scale up when you need, and add new capabilities whenever the situation demands it. One experience, a single unified solution for employees and customers. One cloud, a single cloud offering based on AWS public cloud technology. One path for migration to the CX1 platform. The fully integrated cloud customer experience platform from NICE, allowing you to be first in CX. Visit nice.com for more. Leaders responsible for operations, information technology, customer experience, contact centers, customer care, service and support are invited to register for a free CCW Digital membership. Membership includes networking with 100,000 plus qualified industry professionals, quarterly executive research reports, product matchmaking, and more. Go to ccwdigital.com to join the community. That's ccwdigital.com.
My name is Martin Sassenfeld. I'm a director for product development, customer services for the Lufthansa Group Airlines.
Product development and customer service.
Yes, product development for customer services.
Oh, for customer service. Yes. So what does this mean?
We are responsible for developing new customer services, which is new service concepts, and creating, designing new services which benefit for the customer.
I love it. It could be, innovation could be the title.
It is a little bit innovation since 2 years. I'm actually coming from the classical provider management, steering of providers and looking for KPIs, steering commercials, steering quality. But in the last 2 years, we changed the operational setup with our providers so that we get more free time for developing really innovations, like chatbots and text analytics and so on.
All right. So without, painstakingly going through everything, let's make sure we understand, maybe what some of the accomplishments have been over the past 2 years. You just mentioned two of them. As far as chatbots are concerned, give us a sense of, realizing that the solution could fit, how you found the provider that you found, maybe even who that is, and now what you're kind of learning from it and how the organization is benefiting from it.
Yeah, that started almost 1.5 years ago, where the artificial intelligence, chatbot development was like really on hype in our organization.
Sure.
And there was a big battle between sales and service and who can do the first use cases, IT, business, and so on and so forth.
Everybody wanted it.
Everybody wanted it. And we won the chance to build a first use case where we wanted from customer experience side really solve a customer pain point and not to make a use case where you increase sales, but where you really look into customer services and where the customer pain points are. And to solve these problems with artificial intelligence.
Why would Lufthansa, the organization, say, you know what, rather than focus on the revenue, we'd rather focus on the customer experience? How could they make that decision?
Yes, because it started with the chatbot is like the communication with the customer, and there's we have a lot of costs with the call centers, of course, and so there was obviously a good case. In case you really solve the problem, you can save money on the customer servicing part. And the sales revenue wouldn't be the first use case because there's actually no payment solution included at the moment.
There we
messengers.
Go. We can't get money in, but we can stop some money out.
Yes.
And so do you already have kind of revenue numbers of how much savings you have accomplished?
Not yet, because we are just in front of going live. But we have made a board decision for the next couple of years where we want to track call avoidance potentials.
But you've done the proof of concept.
Yes.
Can you take us through the proof of concept of how, what happened with your organization? In other words, this is a difficult thing, right? Because we're not used to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so proof of concept is we started like in an agile modus. We developed first use cases, made some demos, and everyone liked it very much. So we got more support on staff and resources. And at the moment, we are, as I said, just before going live, we are in a sort of beta version.
Yes.
With registered users who can use the chatbot while being on their travel.
Now this is customers.
Yeah, customers.
Right.
It's real customers. But it's it's like manually registered users, so it's not many at the moment.
Understood. It's beta. I get it.
It's beta. Yeah.
What are they saying to you, though? What maybe in just the actions that they're taking? What are you learning from this beta, from the proof of concept and the beta version of this?
Yeah, they want to have it really simple. And they, so maybe I explained a little bit the case. The case is that in case your flight is cancelled, that you can rebook yourself with getting some alternative flights to choose. And then with 2 clicks, you can rebook your flight. So the first thing the customer really like is that they can see that there are alternatives. And the second one is that they can easily change it with 1 click.
Right.
So, so the whole procedure is maybe a couple of seconds.
Why are we calling this a chat bot? It doesn't sound like I'm doing any chatting. Right?
Actually, yes, that's right. Because we started to implement a use case where you really solve a problem for a specific problem.
Understood.
And of course, in this chatbot, you also have like a line where you can start communicating, and there will be a NLP who will learn from day by day more and more and more. But of course, it takes a very long time to learn your machine with all kind of topics in customer service.
Sure.
So we decided not to take this as the main use case. But of course, this belongs to the chatbot and will build up in the next years.
Yeah, it'll be an add-on. We'll actually and absolutely get to that. But
yes. So we decided to start with the product with a specific use case where you can really solve a problem easily.
Is there any learning happening at this point, or is it just if A, go A, if B, go B?
Yeah, it's like in Facebook Messenger, you can do some buttons and some links, but you stay in the Messenger. So we don't link to websites.
Understood.
We solve the problem in the Messenger, and there's like a little bit buttons. You can show some nice flight alternatives. There's some templates, so it's very easy to use. Not too much chatting, so to give the customer a clear idea what to do.
As far as the organization is concerned, you're calling it a chatbot. It sounds like the solution, as it was presented, is a chatbot, and there are various levels of functionality. Do you, on your team, does the organization consider this AI or not just yet?
Yes, we do.
We already consider this AI.
Yes, we consider AI. In the first step, there will not be much artificial intelligence because we want to have the entrance into the service and into this channel. But we have to, that's why we did the board decision and to get some money for the next 2 years to implement exactly the necessary artificial intelligence and maybe even self-learning capabilities.
You also mentioned analytics solution that you're working with. Take us through that.
Yeah, analytics means that today we have a lot of customer surveys, we have a lot of written comments in different sources, but we don't have anybody who can read all that and analyze it. So we are made a first step there to implement a text analytics tool. And this machine is at the moment is in the learning phase. So we feed some sources in there, and the next step will be to identify some clusters of intents and customer pain points, and go from there to develop some dashboards, and to start a second project phase where we make the tool usable for different roles in the organization, like product manager, like CEO, like station manager, and so on.
Why did you throw CEO in there?
Yes.
Why? Product manager, I get. Why'd you throw CEO?
They're interested in what are the customer pain points.
So basically kind of the output to that executive type of thing.
Exactly.
This is the dashboard for that executive.
For the dashboard for the CEO is
going to be different than
more high level than for the product manager for lounges on the airports. But both of them get a dashboard where they can work with on different data sources.
You're already training. So this is cognitive capabilities that we're playing with already.
Yeah.
Yes? Understanding that you're in the training mode, have you already learned something from the analytics that you're providing?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We are just in this phase. We learned that it's very difficult to extract the intent of the sources.
Indeed.
Because the sources are very different.
Right.
The way the people write is different, and it's not like that you just switch it on and after 3 weeks you have the first results. So there's a long way to go, but we believe that we will make a big step. The first step will be that we can give people in our organization access to feedback.
Sure.
Because this wasn't possible before. Because we make data which has to be protected will be made anonymous.
Right.
So this is a special module we did before.
Right.
So the feedback gets to the person who needs the information.
Albeit anonymized.
Yes.
So,
and maybe there's to explain, there's a link between the chatbot and this text analytics.
Sure.
Of course, you can analyze the chats with this tool too.
So you've been in this position for 2 years. I wonder, kind of taking a number of steps up in the organization, or maybe out, you tell me, what is the guiding principle here? Why do we want to automate? Obviously, there's a ton of automation that's already happening over these past 2 years. Was that the, C-level executives or the board saying we have to automate our business? Or was it, someone else in the organization saying CX has to be central to what we're doing? What is the guiding principle here?
I think it's all of everything a little bit.
Right.
The major thing in this particular project was really the hype. We want to do something with this new technology. And at this time, customer service has been fast enough and good enough and has a real case because of the missing payment, often the missing payment solution. So the customer service has a good business case. And so everything fits together.
But how did you make sure that everything did fit together? Meaning, usually if I go into something based on the hype that brings me there and says, I'm looking at this technology as somewhat of a silver bullet and, I know that I have to use it and I'm retrofitting it into what I'm already doing. Usually that breeds, the potential for non-success. So how did we make sure not to get caught up in the hype, but to actually utilize the technology appropriately for the organization that we have?
It was a little bit of hard work on relationship together with the IT department, even with 3 IT departments.
3 IT departments?
Yeah, with different IT departments.
Okay.
Because of different IT solutions behind it, you have to connect.
Yes.
Especially, for example, not only the development team for chatbots, also the teams who are responsible for the core systems, because there is the the solutions for the customers. So you have to make the connection.
Right.
So it's relationship building between all these different departments. Then of course being fast with the use case to explain that how you can save money when you implement the automation.
Right.
And the third one, I think, was very important, that you can really solve an unsolved customer pain point, which is in irregulations or in situation where your flight is cancelled, that you have partly automated logics, but you will always have a problem as a customer. Either you are standing in the queue or you have to wait in the call center line. So you have to get full automation in this process. And the technology is perfectly fitting into this use case. And so I think these three things: relationship, solving customer pain points, and have a use case to get a return on investment for the investment.
Sounds like you're also understanding your internal supply chain, so to speak, as well as the customer journey, to make sure that where those two things meet, boom, we solve.
Yeah, actually.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So then how are you this smart? Where are you from?
I'm from Frankfurt.
Okay. I was guessing that you were German.
Yeah.
Right? With the S's and the this and the that. Frankfurt, now, is there any truth to the rumor that Frankfurters, hot dogs as I know them, are from Frankfurt, Germany?
Say again.
Frankfurters,
yes.
hot dogs.
Yeah. Hot dogs, yeah.
That's where they're from, right?
Yeah.
And hamburgers are from Hamburg. This is the way that Americans look at the world. I know.
Apfelwein.
What's that now?
Apfelwein.
Where's that from?
It's typical white wine, which is not really. It's a little bit sour.
Yeah. Is it made from apples?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And of course the beer, right?
Yeah. Beer too.
All right. What was it like in Frankfurt as a kid growing up?
I grown up in Karlsruhe.
In where?
In Karlsruhe.
Is that right outside of Frankfurt?
That's near Stuttgart.
Okay.
You probably know Stuttgart from the
from the cars,
yes.
right?
And Frankfurt, I live since 15 years.
Oh, you live in Frankfurt now?
Yeah,
I got you.
Now. Yeah.
And what was the name of the town that you grew up in?
Karlsruhe.
And what was it like when you were there as a kid?
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah, I had. I went there for university too.
Yeah.
So, but then I had to leave this.
Did you always know?
Small city.
Yes. Did you always know that you were going to be in customer experience or customer services?
No.
When did this happen?
This happened. I started in the IT procurement, strategic procurement, and I was responsible for the procurement of the IT for the call center network.
In Lufthansa?
At Lufthansa.
How long have you been to Lufthansa?
Since 13 years now.
Oh, so it's a while.
Yeah, it's a while.
And you have experience within the IT organization. So as far as creating these relationships. Procurement, understood about the clarification.
But you're right.
You understand how to build these relationships based on the fact that you at least were at arm's length from being, in that pole position, in that seat.
Yes.
What advice would you give to your colleagues that need to build, your business colleagues that need to build, these relationships with the IT enterprise to make sure that everything works? If they don't have experience being in IT procurement, at least sitting over there, how can folks relate? What suggestions would you give them in terms of building those relationships?
I think it's the best thing is to do some small projects or pilots. So you really work together. And I think it's a good way when you change the working modus more towards agile management. So you really sit together with the colleagues and you develop solutions together.
Okay.
And not the old style making specifications, 3 months, waiting 1 year for the first prototype or solution, and then go from there.
But then you just brought up this senior management in both areas. Now we've got to sell that up as well to be able to sit as a group, right? And so how do you sell it up? What's your suggestions as far as that's concerned, getting that C-level buy-in?
That's because of the cost saving, of course, and
show that immediately.
Yeah, I mean it's a win-win. Yeah, it's good for the customer, the solution, and you save money, and you can easily change a little bit the working modus in agile management.
Right. So we can work faster.
Like
we're
that.
saving money. What's the problem here?
It's new.
Yeah.
They like
and
it.
it's new also. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's what is important maybe to for the colleagues that most of the job, or my job and my colleagues' job, because we have a cooperation there, that we give the project team enough time and space and don't put them too much under pressure. Like you have to have a function in 2 months, and which function comes in 6 months. Just let them do their work.
Well, wait a second, though, because we've got two different principles here. We've got agile, and we're going to have quick results, but also give them the time. So how do you strike that balance?
Yeah, agile means small results from 3 weeks onwards. And that's it.
But how do you strike the balance of, we would love, for you to work quickly and together, but also, do it in a way that you actually get the job done. How do you strike the balance of saying you have time, but not too much time?
Yeah, I think it's maybe there's 2 to 3 things. First thing is let the team work agile, which means that there are small steps.
Understood.
Make clear that there are small steps and show them some small results. That's good. But also show them the big vision. When it's finished in 10 years. But don't try to discuss what happens in this year and next year.
In between. Let them figure that out.
Yeah. This is the project's topic.
Got it.
And I think that's important, that the top management understands where the vision is and where the overall work goes. I think that's important.
Interesting. So show them the first steps, show them how quickly they can show you results.
And maybe another thing, and I think that's why I'm happy that chatbot was in this sort of hype. Yeah. Because it was the first time that senior management was interested in customer services. Because it's the first time where you can show them what customer service is. Right. Before, if you only have inbound calls, it's difficult to explain a CEO what's happening in the call center. Yes. But with a innovative technical solution, they're interested in what's happening there. Yes. And so that's a good thing and a good time for being in customer services. Yeah. To use this technology and bring it up. So it's interesting. So we have been in a lot of demos and conferences and digital aviation forums and so on, and they see us every time. Yeah. And first time that customer service with innovation is on these platforms, in these internal platforms. Understood. Basically, what you're getting at here is don't simply chase the bright shiny object, but use the hype to your advantage. Yep. If you've got eyes and ears that are interested, how can you actually make the business case? Do make the business case internally to yourself before you go out and sell it, but use the hype to your advantage. Yep. I like that. Yeah, that's right. I've got 3 final questions for you, but before I ask them, I have to ask you if you ever saw the movie Goodfellas. I'm not sure. Okay. Because Goodfellas, right, it's directed by Martin Scorsese. It's got Robert De Niro in it. Okay. It's got a couple other folks in it. And they have the Lufthansa heist. You don't know what I'm talking about. You have to go watch Goodfellas. Okay. Do you have Netflix? No, I'm on Amazon. Amazon. Well, it's on Netflix right now. Okay. So I can tell you that. Okay. Goodfellas, I promise. Lufthansa prominently featured in the film. Okay. All right. Oh my God. Yeah. All right. Definitely have to look at Flight. But it's a long time ago as far as, what happened and whenever it happened. 3 final questions. I'll tell you what they are. I'll ask you them in order. What has most surprised you at work along the way? You've got 13 good years at Lufthansa. Say again? What has most surprised you at work? What's most surprised you in life? And on the soundtrack of your life, 1 track, 1 song that's got to be on there. But first things first. What's most surprised you at work throughout your career along the way? That we really made the race with the chatbot project for the customer services. That it happened. That it really happened. Yeah. That we first time have been in front of sales. Yeah. Which doesn't mean that we wouldn't implement sales, but at the right time. Right. So that was...
It feels good for the organization.
It feels good for the organization and really surprised me.
Yeah. What's most surprised you in life?
My kids. Every year, every day.
How old are they?
The girl is 8 and the boy is 11.
Oh, okay. So these are still young people.
They're still young.
But they're definitely people.
They're surprising every day.
What kind of questions are they asking you? Well, give us an example of a good question from an 11-year-old or an 8-year-old.
My daughter asked me, why is it... she asked my wife if it's bad to kiss.
Uh-huh.
And my wife asked her why, because when she is kissing David in the kindergarten, in
a little boy at school, right? Yes,
everyone is watching,
right? Yeah, and she thought that this was about love and everything like that. It's so interesting. It really, humanity is wasted on us old people. Have you realized that? Like, if we just left it up to the children, they've got the right instincts as far as love and togetherness and communication. All right, so. On the soundtrack of your life, Martin, one track, one song that's got to be on there.
Bad from Michael Jackson.
Pretty much everybody on earth likes Michael Jackson. Martin, thank you so much.
Thank you much. Yeah, thank you.
And there you have Martin Sassenfeld. Very much appreciate his time. Very much appreciate yours. Stay tuned.